Hey guys! Welcome back to my channel. So it's about that time for a question and answer since I haven't done one in April. So get ready, because here comes your April question and answer. You guys sent me so many questions. I'm a little overwhelmed. But it's great. Thank you so much for sending me questions. So I'm gonna try my best to get through them. So here we go. Let's just jump right into the first question. First question comes from Diego Castro _01 on Instagram. How old are you and what's your favorite movie at the moment? How old do I look? I am going to say that I am in my 20s. Although it's online, so you can Google it, so it's really not a big deal. But my favorite movie at the moment would have to be... I get asked this question a lot, and my mind always goes to Save the Last Dance because it was a movie I enjoyed watching with my mom growing up. So I'm gonna have to say Save the Last Dance because I'm drawing a blank right now. Oh, and any of the Harry Potter movies, of course. That's all that's coming to mind right now. I guess favorite recent movie would have to be, what's a recent movie that I saw? La La Land. That's a recent one that I really, really like. I loved the music, I loved the acting, I loved the storyline. It gets 2 thumbs up from me. Moving on to the next question. Let's see. Next question comes from Josanna _Rise. What are things you've learned from management and reps that were aha moments? One thing I learned is that in this industry, there's so very little that you're in control of. So when you have an audition, just go in, give it your best, don't second guess yourself, and the minute you walk out of the audition, forget about it. Because there's nothing else you can do. You don't know if you're the right height they're looking for, if you're the right hair color, if you're the right eye color, if you're the right skin color, if you were too comedic, too dramatic, you don't know. So there's no point in stressing over it and making your life miserable because you can't change it. All right, next question. San Jose 2013, do you still write poetry? Okay, I think he's referring to my anthology of poetry. I was published in the Anthology of Young Poets 2009 and 2008, I think. I've had 2 different poems published in actual books, which is exciting. I don't still write poetry. I think I have the books. 1 second. I do still have the books. Here's the first one, Anthology of Poetry by Young Americans 2005 edition. It has my name. And then here's the second one, Anthology of Poetry by Young Americans 2006 edition, Jason Caceres. So I'm published in these 2 books. I don't still write poetry. It's not something that I feel I'm good at. Maybe I'll look into poetry again. Who knows? I did have fun writing it, but I was also a lot younger and a lot more romantic. Moving on. Next question comes from Josanna _Rise. Also, how many agencies have you been with? Oh my god, so many. Back home in Florida, I was with the Green Agency, Stellar Talent, Martin and Donald, World Models, a bunch, because Florida's a right-to-work state, so you can be with as many agencies as you want to. Then when I moved out here in Los Angeles, I've 2 theatrical agents, 2 commercial agents, and I'm on my 3rd manager, because as you grow in your career, you have to change your reps sometimes because the place where you were before can't fit your needs anymore as you grow as an actor. Like, there are certain agencies that only handle co-stars, which are 1 to 5 lines on a TV show. So once you've racked up a few of those, you have to move to a bigger agency that does guest stars. And then once you become a series regular, you move on to a bigger one, and that's how people keep climbing up the ladder until they're at CAA, UTA, Gersh, which are like the biggest agencies in the world. Next question comes from Urelis Chavez, who's a very dear friend of mine that lives in Georgia now. We went to school together. And she asked, when asked about your ethnicity, do you find it hard to choose American versus Cuban? Yes, I do. Here's why. My entire family is Cuban, 100% Cuban. They were born there, they were raised there. My mother and father fled political oppression in the late 1980s. They met here, got married, and had me and my brother. My brother and I were the first of our generation to be born on American soil, so we grew up watching American television, attending American customs, going to American schools. We learned English when we were very, very little. So that part, I'd have to say, yes, I'm American because I was born here. But also because my entire family is Cuban, and they learned English when they moved here. And English is actually my second language because I learned Spanish first and didn't learn English until I was about 6 or 7. Because of that, we grew up with Cuban food, Cuban customs, Cuban dress, Cuban everything pretty much. So I identify more with my Cuban culture than I do with American culture. But whenever I left my house, it was boom, America. But whenever I came back to my house, it was boom, Cuba. So it's kind of like a weird balance of both worlds. But at the same time, I've also never been to Cuba. So I grew up hearing all of these stories about where my family was from, what they did growing up, what happened to them. And to me, it's just kind of like this mystical land that like floats somewhere in the Caribbean that I've never seen before. So I would love to go back and visit sometime, but I can't say that I'm really eager to go because of everything that my family's been through. I eventually one day would like to see where my family comes from. I just go by Cuban American or Cuban, depending who I'm talking to. If I'm talking to another Latino, I would say Cuban. If I'm talking to an American, I say American because the questions are just way too much and it's just less hassle to identify with the person that you're talking to. Alright, moving on. I'm gonna do one more question because this video is getting kind of long. What are your favorite warm-up exercises before performances and auditions? Okay, so definitely stretching because it helps like get rid of the nerves. So I do some of these, some of this, some of these. I really like vocal exercises because I feel like it grounds me a little, it grounds my voice because in my day-to-day life I get really excited and I talk up here and you can't do that at auditions. So I like some light humming. Then there's like tongue twisters that you can do to help, you know, slow down your speech and hit every single consonant. Like, give me the gift of a grip top sock, a ship shape. I forgot the rest right now. I think we have time for 2 more questions, right guys? I'm just gonna do 2 more questions. Here we go. This one comes from San Jose 2013. How do you prepare for a shirtless scene? I don't really. I consider myself to be very physically active, so I work out every day. I try to eat right. I try to eat a lot of protein, vegetables, fruits. You really need all of those. I take vitamins. I make sure to take care of my body on a regular basis so that if a shirtless scene does come up, I'm ready. I'm not worried about how I'm gonna look. I will say that if I'm given a heads up about a shirtless scene that's coming up, I will do a few more push-ups and sit-ups than usual. Alright, last question comes from Thomas Soriano on Twitter, and he asks, when will BBJ be released? BBJ is a short film I did with Wilson Cruz, and it was a lot of fun. I had a blast shooting it. We shot it overnight, in one night, with 2 or 3 rehearsals, I think it was. Long story short, I don't know when it's going to be released. I know it's being submitted to festivals, it's going to do the festival circuit for a bit, so I'm not sure when it's going to be released. I have the full thing on my computer, I can't release the full thing. All I can do is put the little short clip that's from my demo reel up, which I did, but I don't know when the official release date is going to be or where they're going to release it. I don't know if it's going to be on Netflix or Hulu or some other streaming site. I'm not sure, but I'll keep you up to date, I promise. Alright guys, thank you so much for sending me your questions. I have a blast talking to you guys every single time. I love answering them. Please come back next week for more videos. And if you want to send me more questions, go ahead because I have a file of like questions people send me and eventually I will get through all of them, but there is so many. You guys did a great job at sending them to me. So once again, if you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. Make sure to hit the subscribe button and share with all your friends. And come back next week for more videos. Alright, see you guys.